Obama, please come back. Please, the babysitter's so scary. Please come back.
This is the latest and the breakingest news. Mr. Donald Trump had a horrible day in Congress as the SAVE Act is done, dead, null and void. And yes, they absolutely missed a critical deadline. So in Congress, the majority leader, John Thune, basically said they don't have the votes. It's not happening. They don't have the votes for the SAVE Act or the filibuster. And what is nice is that the Republicans are telling Mr. Trump that they can't do what you want us to do. I mean, I can't make this up. He is having a horrible day with Congress and all this other stuff. They may have to pass the SAVE Act reports through basic reconciliation, and that's with the budget. And as it stands, they don't have the votes. The SAVE Act is done. I repeat, finito. And there is no chance of this passing, if it even had a chance, before November. So you know what? It's not going to happen. And let's see what happens in November when the blue tsunami comes.
If you think Trump is serving a third term, you're delusional. I can already see the comments, so bring it at me, but hear me out on this. I know Trump said he's going to run for another term and everyone's freaking out and he's not joking, and I don't think he is. But he is not going to serve a third term as president. Number one, look at the man. Do you think he's well enough to finish this current term? I don't think his health is even going to allow him to finish this one, let alone another 4-year term. Then there's the issue of constitutionality. And I know here's where you guys are going to say, he ignores the laws, he doesn't care, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. If you're going to start picking and choosing which constitutional amendments you're going to follow, then none of the constitutional amendments are valid. Then who's to say the Second Amendment can't be taken away? We're just going to ignore that. How does that crowd feel about it now? Oh, we're going to ignore the one that says there are term limits for presidents, but not the one that gives us the right to bear arms, okay? No, that's not how any of this works. And if he does decide to run a campaign, again, I don't think his health is going to allow it. It's not going to stand up legally. The courts are the last line of defense. And you know what? Even if he does, we still got Barack Obama, y'all.
I just wanted to come on here and say I'm sorry. I voted for him and I thought he was going to make things better for folks like us.
At what point does ignorance stop being understandable and start just being negligence? And I think that most of us feel that 2024 was that line, right? And before I go any further, there are different kinds of Trump supporters. There are the ones that see what's going on, are well informed, and say, yes, daddy, give me more. And they would vote for him for a third term, even knowing all of this. And then there are others who genuinely from the bottom of their heart believe that the left is the one that is doing all of the corruption and everything against their president is straight up propaganda. And I was one of them. So we think that we're arguing about facts. We're not. We're arguing about trust. It's the same facts no matter what. We're just operating from two different trust systems. So for example, we see an indictment, which means criminal to us. They see an indictment and that means a corrupt DOJ that was trying to sabotage their guy. We see civilly liable in a court of law for SA, we see an assayer. They see somebody who is trying to also be sabotaged, or an opportunistic woman who was just trying to get money, especially when their bias was confirmed because money by the millions was exchanged in some of these cases. To us, ICE is corrupt. To them, these people are being sent home to their families with grocery stipends and down payments for houses and college credits. I'm not kidding. That is real. Christy Nome actually said that. I have a whole video on it. We are not consuming different information. We're just interpreting it through different lenses of legitimacy. Yes, by 2024, who he is has been available for decades, that information. But just because information is public doesn't mean that it's trusted. And if somebody believes genuinely that the media lies, that all of the courts are being weaponized, that institutions are corrupt, then every piece of evidence against him is just proof that he's being persecuted and that he is the victim. Please know that this does not excuse the impact of their vote. Absolutely not. But if we collapse every person who voted for him 3 times as just one lump group evil, then we're missing an opportunity to actually understand each other and fix it. This isn't just political division. It's also trust collapse. And until we recognize that and fix it, we're just going to be screaming across each other.
In danger. Folks really do right themselves, because 3 days ago, did I not just say this in my video? Many Americans who voted for the talking orange believe that rules for thee and not for me is how things are going to play out, and it's just not. There are many Americans who are waking up to find out that their lives are going to be impacted by this. Many of them are effing around and finding out the hard way. And now look at the Republicans effing around and finding out.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you. We love you. On the way to the White House.
Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
So I admit, I regret my vote for Donald Trump. I regret it because I needed these changes sooner. I needed the prices to go down sooner.
This is bad
so that I
news.
didn't drain out my bank accounts and go into crippling credit card debt.
All right, you shady motherfucker, listen up and listen good. I voted for you because of your no tax on overtime bill, amongst other things. But here's the deal. I just read your great, big, beautiful bill, and it's bullshit.
As easy as it would be for me to say that I wasn't thinking when I voted or that I don't watch the news, I had to ask myself the same question that hundreds of you are asking me, is why did I vote the way I did? I've spent the last few days reflecting, and I feel like I came through some sort of revelation.
You know why we voted for Donald Trump? Because the middle class man finally thought he was going to get ahead in life. You said no taxes on overtime. Big, bold, beautiful letters. We thought, hell yeah, why would we not vote for that? Then you turn around and pass the bill and it's a crock of shit. It's a tax credit for the people that make a certain amount of money. Of course, when you put it in big, bold, beautiful letters, it looks great. We're going to vote for you. And you knew what you were doing. You were baiting people in saying, no taxes on overtime. You didn't give no fucking details. Your details that we read.
All I can say, I was a dumbass, voted for Trump only because of my beliefs. People around me encouraged it. I can think for myself, yes. But I felt at the time that was the better choice. Now I'm looking at it with everything going on. It was the worst decision I ever made. I wanted not to vote.
I was a MAGA junkie.
A MAGA junkie who thought her government job would be safe with Donald Trump in office. She was wrong.
I cried. It's scary, you know, it's a really scary thing, and I was embarrassed. He's a good boy.
Piggott was abruptly fired last month from the Treasury Department's Bureau of Fiscal Service, based here in Parkersburg, West Virginia. The reason given for the firings of 125 probationary employees at the Bureau? Poor performance.
If you could say anything to President Trump now, what would you say?
I expected better from you. I really did.
Important.
I expected that you would do what was right and cut waste and fraud and all of those things that you promised us before we elected you in office, but you're not doing that. You're creating a disaster, and I don't know what America's going to look like if this continues.
I know you told me you voted for President Trump. What were you hoping that he would do?
I was hoping he would did something that made sense regarding the economy, made some kind of progress in bettering, you know, the benefits of being a veteran. But
Please
I mean,
open your TV
it just seemed like he actually cared about doing what was best for the country. But now it just feels like all about me, Donald Trump, not, you know, the guy out there working in the trenches trying to make ends meet, trying to pay a mortgage, trying to pay the bills. You know, it goes against everything I expected when, you know, I voted for him.
I just need someone to explain something to me. I live in Alabama, and my utility bill usually averages between $200 and $250 a month. Can someone please explain to me how my utility bill went from $250 a month to $696 this month? Could someone just please explain that to me? I know it was cold last month, but $696? Explain.
Se por favor requisitos, actividades de tratos. Se terminó el caso, se cerró hace meses. Lo detuvieron en el aeropuerto de Ley, lo mandaron a un caudillo en North Carolina por 3 días y luego lo movieron aquí a donde estamos ahora.
Le dijo que iba a ir por todos los delincuentes, que entraron ilegal.
Y ahí lo dijo muy claro.
Lo dijo bien claro.
Pero pasamos de tener una puerta abierta completamente a cerrarla con 10 cerrojos.
Es un engaño masivo lo que hizo. Es un mentiroso que está mucha gente enojada. No son inmigrantes. Gente que vive aquí, que tiene generaciones y generaciones de estar en este país.
You all asked, and here it goes. Here's my Trump hat. It's right here. It hasn't gone anywhere, and it doesn't change anything. Regardless, I am still going to enjoy my summer.
I'm just trying to trust the universe. Trust God. Trust myself.
Well, I'm trying not to laugh. This is her now.
It's been happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building. Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal.
I wasn't just a Trump supporter. I was a true believer.
I was one of his closest advisors. I spent Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's all at Mar-a-Lago. I saw him when the cameras were off. Behind closed doors, Trump mocks his supporters. He calls them basement dwellers. On a hospital visit one time when people were dying in the ICU, he was mad that the cameras were not watching him.
How come everybody I know that went to college is a Biden supporter? Yeah. And I don't understand how everybody is a Biden supporter if you just went to college. So what are they teaching in this college? Are they teaching anything?
Stuff like inclusivity and respecting other people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, woke.
Yeah, wokeness, yeah.
All right, Trump. It's not cool, man. No tax on overtime. Well, I'm just now finding out that no tax on overtime is not no tax on overtime.
Yeah. No shit, Billy Bob. We were screaming that. Blue-collar workers were screaming that Trump is talking shit. It's not going to happen. Everything was laid out for you. But you didn't listen. And now that you just filed your taxes, you're finding out that Trump lied to you. Wow. You selfish prick. That's why you voted for Trump. Because of the no tax on overtime bullshit that was given to you. Spoon freaking fed. Here's a crazy question for you. What has Trump ever said that was true? One thing. Just give me one thing that Trump has said in the past that has been true. You knew he was a liar. And yet you still voted for his lying butt. That's what you did. And what does that make you? A dummy! I made video after video after video trying to explain to my blue-collar union friends that the no tax on overtime, the no tax on tips was absolute bullshit. And yet, you still chose to vote for Trump. It's because you're ignorant. I know that's a big word for you, so ignorance means ignoring the facts. Let's see what else you have to say in this video, because I'm sure everybody is dying to know what else you have to say about your vote.
Well, I'm just now finding out that no tax on overtime is not no tax on overtime. There is tax on overtime. It's no tax on the half. So anything after 40 hours is time and a half. And you're still taxing the time, just not the half. And that's not how you made it out. That's not how you told us it was going to be. You're doing that fine print manipulation and deceit. If you tell us no tax on overtime, that's what we expect. Don't turn into a regular, normal politician. That's why I voted for you, because I thought you weren't a politician. But that's a politician tactic, and I'm not happy. And I'm sure millions others who put in 60, 70 hours a week to put put food on the table for the family, to keep lights and heat and air conditioning on for their family, because we can't survive on 40 hours. They're not going to be happy either. You need to fix this. No tax on overtime should mean no tax on overtime, not no tax on the half of time and a half.
Yeah, he's not going to help you. He's not going to help me. He's not going to fix anything because he doesn't like you. He wouldn't have you sit at his table. He wouldn't have you serve him. Nothing. He wouldn't do anything for you or me. We're not last on the agenda. We aren't even on the agenda as American citizens, hard-working, blue-collar American citizens, just trying to make a living to feed our families and put a roof over our family's head. He knew what he was doing. When he mentioned that no tax on overtime, he knew what he was doing, reeling you dummies in. Come here, dummy. I got some no tax on overtime for you, dummy. Come on and vote for me. Now, I knew this was coming, so it wasn't a surprise to me when I got my taxes done. But I wish I was a fly on the wall when you got your number back from your accountant and the number wasn't what you thought it was. What were you thinking there? Oh, I'm going to get a swimming pool, maybe buy a new car. Yeah, none of that is going to happen. And I am so happy that you're sad. Please, guys, tell me what you think about this in the comments. And if you haven't thrown me a follow yet, please do. Have a day!
I just want you all to know
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for giving him those chances. I'm sorry. I see things now. I see them clearly. And I think I saw them way too late.
Hey, Auntie Bev here. The woman you just saw in the video clip is identified as Susan Howard. She has a TikTok video, which is about 2 minutes long, and she explains how she feels she was betrayed by the president, and she wants people to show her grace for her error in judgment. Well, the vocabulary word I have for that is delude. It's a verb, and it means to deceive, to trick, to fool, to manipulate someone's judgment. Using it in a sentence, I would say, Susan Howard says the president was able to delude her into believing he was going to do what was best for the country, and that's why she continued to vote for him. And I'm saying Susan Howard was delusional. That's an adjective, and it means faulty judgment. Delude, delusional. Add those two words to your vocabulary bank and make it your time, your shine. Auntie Bev speaks.
You feel hopeless right now? I'm here to say some Trump supporters are actually regretting their votes. Estimates as high as 1 in 4 people who voted for Trump regret their votes. And on anonymous forums like Reddit, people have poured out their feelings about how much they regret voting for him. People like farmers who have been upset that they're not getting support and money is going to Argentina instead of them. Young voters who feel manipulated by the MAGA movement. And centrists who aren't necessarily committed to a political party have all expressed serious remorse over their vote. The fact that people are admitting that they're not happy with the election and the way things have been with Trump is a serious step in the right direction. As you know, in most cults, people who speak out against the leader are seriously punished. They're ostracized and experience a lot of hostility, which typically prevents them from speaking out in the first place. So although it may feel hopeless and like fascism has been descending upon us for a few years, there actually is a sign of some progress. That's why it's so important to have conversations with these people. If you're a white person and you have family who are Trump supporters, this is a really good time to try to get through to them, especially because a lot of Republicans want the Epstein files to be released, which could be used as a way to find common ground with them and convince them to not be MAGA anymore. Still have a long way to go, but the fact that his approval rating is dropping is a serious sign of good news.
We are not going to have an election in 2028. Between this picture and that press conference where Trump made a joke about declaring war so that we wouldn't have to hold elections in 2028, I'm saying it right now. It's not happening. Donald Trump looked us dead in the eyes and said, 3.5 years from now, if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections, ha 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 ha. And some of y'all are still walking around with that fuck-ass flag like it even means anything anymore. He is literally selling Trump 2028 hats on his official website. He has an entire 2028 collection, mind you, that literally includes the slogan, "Rewrite the rules." He is building an entire brand around taking a shit on the Constitution. And before anyone wants to say, oh, he's joking, it's just a joke, wrong. You're wrong. It's a psychological play done intentionally to normalize the idea of him having a third term. There is no question that Trump is absolutely going to find a way out of conceding power in 2028. The only question we should be asking now is if we're going to let him.
You're just jealous of Caroline Leavitt. You're just jealous of Caroline Leavitt. Oh, honey, in order to be jealous, that woman has to have something that I want.
Although she does have good health insurance.
So I don't have the crayons and construction paper that you normally require to understand things, but let me give this a whirl. Jealousy implies that I have anger or resentment because somebody has something that I want. Caroline Leavitt is a white, 27-year-old woman who married somebody 30 years her senior. She met through Matt Gaetz. And she works for Donald Trump as the press secretary. And honey, we love seeing women in high positions, but all these comments are extremely presumptuous. And that presumption relies on a white supremacist belief that all roads lead to the white patriarchy. Because in that belief system, women are here to serve men. And that's what Caroline does, you know what I mean? She's a mouthpiece for Project 2025, which is the white patriarchy, the Heritage Foundation, which is what? Serving the Christian nationalist agenda. They're literally trying to take away a woman's right to vote. That is if you change your last name from that on your birth certificate. So married women, watch out. I'm sure I could find a spoonful of sugar around here to help you get this pill down. But not everybody wants to be like white people. Some of us like flavor in our food. Some of us like our brown hair and our shapely bodies. Some of us like that we get to save money on injectables and overlining our lips. I'm sorry to disappoint you. What you're reading is jealousy. It's just us disagreeing with somebody that we find morally and ethically corrupt. And that's on freedom of speech, baby.